Basically, the masters here has a fixed price, and if you do not have a scholarship, let's say it's around 3,700 euros a year for an academic year.
Roughly 4,000 euros per annum is the tuition fee at this top university in Italy that is rated amongst the best in the country and top 100 in the world. Politecnico di Milano is the largest university in Italy and should be on your radar if you want to study there. And to help you with your application, we are joined by Tushar Nair, an ex-student from the university. Tushar was also kind enough to give away his winning SOP for our viewers, that too for free. All you have to do is go to the pinned comments or the description box to download it, so go check it out. Now let's begin today's video.
So I come from the Andamans. That's where I was born and brought up. I did my schooling there, and then I started doing my bachelor's in mechanical engineering from VIT Vellore. And after my bachelor's, I worked for around 2 years in India, and then I decided to go for a master's, and I came to Politecnico in Milan. And I've been studying here since 2022 when I graduated in 2024, the October of 2024. And ever since then, I've been working here as a data scientist. So one of the reasons was my background, since I was coming from a mechanical engineering background. It was a very few bridge courses that we had, like if you want to switch your career, let's say from starting from a core field into a technical, like an IT field. There were very few courses that I had, and I found a course here which was management engineering, which had a specialization in business analytics. So this was a field which I wanted to pursue always. And I had applied to other universities as well, but I also got acceptance from RWTH Aachen, KU Leuven, and also TU Delft. And I had an option to choose between all these colleges, but in the end, what kept me on for Italy is basically the course, because it was a unique blend of, let's say, management and also a bit of business analytics. And it was kind of booming that time, and I always wanted to get into this field of data science, and that's what basically brought me to Italy. So first of all, you need a bachelor's degree, which is 4 years at least in a relevant field. So let's say if you're coming for a technical field here, you need a BTech or a BS degree, and then you need either IELTS, or you can show a medium of instruction for your language, that your bachelor's was done in English. You need your passport, which is valid for at least 3 years. I mean, at least during the duration of your study. And you need 2 motivation letters, and you need a Europass CV. And if you are, let's say, a design student, then also a portfolio. So these are the basic documents that you need to do the application. First thing is you begin with the creation of the account in Politecnico di Milano's website, and that's where you will receive all the updates about your application. So there would be some sections about your professional background, your educational background, and you need to fill all of those. Then you need to upload all the documents that I previously mentioned, and then you can apply for a single application. You can apply for up to 2 courses. And then you need to pay the fee for the application, which is around 50 euros. Considering the masters in Italy, they have 2 intakes. One is in September, and the other one is in February. So let's say if you are a design student, then you have access to only 1 intake, which is in September. So there is no Feb intake for the design students. And for each intake, there are 2 calls. So let's suppose if you want to apply for the September intake, there would be 2 calls in which the application opens. First starts in around mid of November and stays until December, end of December. And the second one starts after January and stays until February. So the best case would be to apply in the first call itself. So if you are focusing for the 2026 intake, the first call would start in the November of 2025. And it takes, I think, around 1 month for them to give you the results of the application. So if you applied in, let's say, November, you would get the results in January. And then if you didn't get it, you also have the option to apply in the second call. but for different courses, let's say. Basically, the masters here has a fixed price, and if you do not have a scholarship, let's say it's around 3,700 euros a year for an academic year. But this keeps increasing and fluctuating over the years. I'm talking about something that was like 2 years ago probably. And so if you have a scholarship, you have a lot of wide range of scholarships that you have access to. The most common is the DSU scholarship. And there are also some other regional scholarships that you can apply for. So you basically pay nothing. You don't have to pay the complete tuition fees. And it's also, apart from that, you get money from the Italian government to basically study and have your living expenses here. Considering, let's say, living expenses, the huge chunk is the rent, which can cost anywhere between 350 to 900 euros. That's like 35,000 INR to 90,000 INR. And this completely depends upon what kind of house you're staying in. Let's say if you're sharing the house with someone, it costs much less as compared to taking a private room. And apart from the rent, I would say it again depends upon your lifestyle. If you're not too outgoing and like if you can, limit your budget to some extent, it would cost around 150 to 200 euros based on like for things like groceries, public transport, and like other leisure activities. There are a few list of documents that you need for sure for before beginning the visa process. So once you have, let's say, the acceptance letter, the first thing you need to do is apply for a pre-enrollment. There is a website called Universitali, which is by the Italian government itself, where you have to apply initially for the pre-enrollment. And once you get the pre-enrollment summary, you need to apply for the visa, like you need to book your slots. And in the meanwhile, you also need to start preparing for all the documents that would be required for the visa interview, in which you have the application form, passport, your acceptance letter, the pre-enrollment summary, and then the proof of accommodation, let's say for the initial 1 month, and your finances, your bank statements for the last 2 years, health insurance, then your bachelor's degree, obviously, and the language proficiency that you are going to provide, like IELTS or let's say the medium of instruction. And once you have all this, you can take these documents for the visa process, and the processing time can be anywhere between 2 weeks until 2 months. Based on if you have all the documents sorted and if everything is in line, then it takes much earlier. And also it depends upon the consulate where you have applied for.
So that was for today's video. Hope you found it super useful. Also, don't forget to download Tushar's winning SOP from the pinned comments or the description box. I will see you next time.